Hello and welcome to this 4 weeks in a row. We did it for a month. Yes, look at us go. Weekly podcast, Eyes of Harmony. So, yeah, on this channel we talk about kind of everything Doctor Who, literally anything, new series, classic series, games, I don't know, whatever, our personal experiences.
Yeah, it's just whatever we feel like that week.
Yeah, whatever new news is coming about, whatever's
there's
happening.
any at the minute.
No, very much in lockdown. But in the description below will be like kind of jump points. If there's something you're more interested in listening to, then feel free to jump to that section. So yeah, it's my birthday today, 11th of April. Woo! Yeah, there we go. You're incredibly good at that sound. I've said that before. You've practiced that weird, what is it? What are they called, those things? It's like the party...
Yeah.
What are they called? Like, what's their name?
I just always called like a blower, but like...
Party blowers? Is that what that
is?
That's
not it. But...
Is that their official name? I don't know.
Extended tongue.
Extended birthday tonguing. You're great at that birthday tonguing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22 years old. Wow. And so what does that mean? That's a long time since Doctor Who. I can't remember now. I was trying to work out how many years since that, but it's like 7 years off. So 15 years, yeah. So it was 15 years since Rose. That was stupid, wasn't it? But yes, so to celebrate my birthday, we thought of topics was kind of the best kind of, or just a couple of ever Doctor Who gifts that you've got, or like what's like a memory of like either giving or receiving kind of a Doctor Who. It can be Christmas as well. It doesn't have to be birthdays and stuff. What's like one of the coolest things you've got Doctor Who wise, like gift wise, though, it's got to be given.
I think one of the more memorable ones for me was probably when I was about 7-ish, 6, 7. Like when after the series got revived, I was really like, I want a remote controlled Dalek for Christmas, and like I kind of pestered throughout the year, like just to get one. And in the end, I would get one for Christmas. But it's kind of funny because they actually recorded my reaction to that, right? And so I wasn't really surprised because that was the main thing I was asking for. So you can kind of see me go, oh, it's a Dalek. And then I was just like, oh, wait a second, this isn't enough of a reaction. They're going to be disappointed. Oh, Dalek! Wow!
That one, I think, because it's on the edge, constricted.
That one.
That one, go on then, Conrad. Whoa! Wow! 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 Thank you! Thank you! All right, Conrad. A Dalek! I want to open it!
That is so lovely that you decided to over compensate. See, that's the thing. That's why I like not knowing what I'm getting anymore, because I find it so hard to like give a great happy reaction when you know what's coming. Like, you're like, oh, thank you so much. And that's kind of it. Like, but if you don't know and it surprises you, you can give way more of like a surprised reaction. So yeah, I very much like not knowing what I'm getting. Like, I never really ask for anything too specific anymore, because it's like, well, I want to make you feel happy that you got me something, because I always remember giving gifts way more than receiving. Like, I much prefer the memory of making someone else happy than just being like, yeah, I'm a greedy bastard, give me everything. Like I don't know, I don't get like as much out of that. But there's like two which really stand out. So one was series 1 had just come out, and I was big on Doctor Who, but not like super, I don't know, like because I was still a kid, maybe I spoke about it all the freaking time and I can't remember. I probably did. But from Santa, I got the TARDIS playset, with the column that freaking works.
Yeah.
Crazy. So
still have that in the loft somewhere.
It's so good. Like, it's such an amazing playset. Like,
yeah.
How it was amazing. And then I got like a figure collection set as well, which was a weird selection of choices, by the way. But like, that was, yeah.
The only thing about that TARDIS playset which always bugged me was the fact that the walls only covered the doorway.
The door, yeah. I was
Like, I understand not having it the whole way around because, of course, then you wouldn't be able to play it. But like, at least like half of it.
yeah, like
I knew people like made solutions for it, and I tried to like put in like, oh, downloads off the internet and then put like the extra papers over, but like it didn't work as well. I probably should have printed it on cardboard, but
yeah, paper would have been a bit thin.
it was.
But do you know, for years I didn't realize that there was two on buttons. So there was the shop on button, which just did the sound and the glow. But I didn't realize for years. I mean, I found out years later when I was making my dumb soft toy Doctor Who kind of videos, because I was a lonely child and I need to make something creative at this point, and I couldn't do it with anyone else. So I discovered, then it could go the other way. And then, like, the whole freaking inside of the column would move. I was freaking mind blown. I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, like, this is even sicker than it was. Like, it was like I got given the gift again. Because it was so cool. And, like, there was so many different sounds and stuff. Like, it wasn't just the sound effect and the glow. It was the whole freaking column inside moved. I was like, this is freaking sick.
Yeah, I think I got that as a present as well, though I don't recall exactly when. Probably not long after it became a thing, to be honest, just because of how up to date and like desperate I was for those sorts of things. Although the TV ads for all of those things were quite prevalent, so I think regardless you would have known about them.
What was amazing was I didn't know anything about the toys or anything like that. I might have seen them in the shop. I might have seen the TARDIS in the shop, but I didn't ask for it or anything. I might have asked for Doctor Who stuff. But yeah, it was that one's recorded actually. My surprise from that one, and yeah, I was very, very happy with that one.
Then of course I got the voice changer helmet as another one I think as a gift. The Dalek voice changer helmet. I mean, it doesn't work that great in terms of being a voice changer helmet, but it's darn cool just to have like a head of a Dalek just there somewhere,
just on your head.
I had a Darth Vader one at the time as well, and that worked so much better. And I'm so angry at myself that I got rid of it. Why?
Why did you get rid of it?
Like at the time, I was just like, it's just sitting down. I probably won't need it again, and I'm probably not as big on Star Wars now, so it's okay. You can send it to a charity shop or whatever.
Oh.
And now I look back and I'm just like, you idiot! You idiot! How much would I have done to even keep that? Because that would have been sick, right? I'd just be able to have a helmet.
I
had Anakin costume from that time too, which I think my brother might still have actually.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, that's a little off topic. Other than that, I think I got DVDs. I remember the first Doctor Who DVDs I ever got were from Christmas gifts. So I got volumes 3 and 4 of Series 1. And volume 4 from series 2, all kind of in one package. And then there was another year where I got 2 parts of the Dalek Empire. I don't know where they got them, because Big Finish I didn't think was the most widely available thing. And this was before I even knew really what Big Finish was. This was maybe 9, 10 or something, and they just got me 2, and these were the kind of and they're kind of random. It was part 4 of series 1 and then part 4 of series 2. So it's you kind of missed a couple of jumps there.
Yeah.
So I know what happens at the end of series 2 before I even knew at the beginning what happened.
What happened at the beginning?
Yeah. Pretty much. I've kind of caught up with it now, but
there was a birthday many years ago. I don't know how old I was. Maybe 12. No, maybe a bit sooner than that. No. Maybe 11. But I got the first ever Doctor Who DVDs I'd got. I'd been given VHSs up to this point, but I got given the beginning, which was very cool. That was my first DVDs, and very fitting to now have Unearthly Child signed by Carol Ann Ford. and William Russell is insane.
I was kind of similar. Well, sorry, I interrupted. No, sorry. It's just I got like £50 worth of Amazon vouchers, and so I bought the Beginnings, New Beginnings, and a couple of others. Well, actually, I think it was a 5 Doctor Special Edition. All like after that, just with that £50. But yeah, sorry. Continue.
No, it's fine. Yeah, and I just remember that being very cool. I remember I got very confused because when you click play all on An Unearthly Child, it plays the pilot first, and then it started over again. I was like, what the fuck's going on with this? So I kind of then watched episode 2, and to this day I keep forgetting that the pilot plays first. So I'm not sure. I think maybe when it hit the 50th anniversary, we watched Unearthly Child episode 1 before we went to the cinema. I believe that actually, up until that point, I'd only always watched the pilot version and never like the real episode 1. And I mean, I didn't think it was that bad, like in terms of difference. Like, yeah, there were a lot of mistakes and stuff, and it's a bit wooden at points, but like, still enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't until the Daleks I was like, this is sick. And then I watched, Edge of Destruction, which was very cool, and then Cliffhanger's amazing, and I really wanted to get Marco Polo. So you can imagine my disappointment when kind of not straight away, but kind of years later I found out, wait, it's all missing. Like, what? No. Yeah, that was heartbreak when that one was missing. And then Reign of Terror was also missing. I was like I think, finding out that Doctor Who had missing episodes was a massive gut punch. I remember when it was when I first found the wiki page or something. I was scrolling. I was just seeing how much was missing. I was like, oh my god, I'm never gonna get to see any of these. So when they started animating them, I was so happy.
I think my dad told me that there was like a lot missing, so I kind of had that prepared. And then once I became more internet like heavy, I found out all that stuff. I spent a lot of time looking into all of that stuff and whatnot. And I mean, I remember actually the first time I knew that they were animating some of the missing stuff was like, I think like one of my friends had like a copy of The Invasion, which we watched.
Yeah.
Like, and that must have been like right when it was released, pretty much. Because I went around somebody's house and they had it.
Yeah, I got that one. I remember one year I asked, I kind of wanted Cyberman stuff for Christmas. Like, I kind of was very much, I hadn't seen a lot of the classics, so I think they gave me most of these. Basically, all of these came from my auntie and uncle. They were like my dealers for Doctor Who. They filled that need. But yeah, they sent. What did they give me? Attack of a Cyberman, the 6th Doctor story, The Invasion, and the 2-parters from Series 2. So Rise of Cyberman, Age of Steel, and Doomsday Army of Ghosts. Those 2-parters. Yeah. But yeah, I remember actually I didn't watch The Invasion properly. I kind of watched episode 1, and it's because it was quite slow. I was like, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it, and I didn't watch it properly. And then a couple of years later, I then watched it properly. I was like, fuck, this was good. Like,
I was excited to watch it because, I mean, I always watched the clips that were on the Doctor Who Classic website that they had. So they had like a number of clips from all these various classic episodes, even some of the missing ones. They had like clips of stuff. So, I would just excessively like watch through them like on a fairly regular basis. So it's just like, I'm excited to see how this fits in. I want to see it. But of course, it would take me a long time to own a lot of the bits and pieces I saw there. And
yeah, it's funny. Like, it's the long ones which really kind of put me off watching. Actually, surprisingly, at a young age, like because The Invasion's 8 episodes, so I was like, oof. That's a lot to watch. I don't know why. Like, for some reason, it kind of, I think it scared me because I was investing a lot of time into something which maybe wouldn't be as good. I was still very young at this age. So
well, it was that for me. It was like, I mean, especially when I was younger, watching anything would be like a family experience. I wouldn't watch very much on my own unless like it was. Well, I was very young when I just watched like Toy Story and Monsters Inc. continuously for the end, like pretty much daily at one point or another. It was to an extent where I could recite the entire first half of Toy Story off by heart. I can't do that anymore. That would be quite a fun party trick.
Yeah, that's a very long party trick, though. Yeah, everyone gather around my TV. I'm gonna put Toy Story on.
I'm just gonna do it with my toys. You are a toy. You're a child's plaything.
You're a sad little man.
I was.
Do you know, unpopular opinion, I actually prefer Monsters Inc. to Toy Story 1. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't agree with that. I prefer it maybe to Toy Story 2, but actually Toy Story 1's probably one of my favourite, like, Pixar's period, really.
I don't know.
I like its darker tone. I don't know, it's just always darker tones in me. I guess I'm just too edgy. It's those sort of stories tend to connect with me much more than the more light-hearted ones. It's not that light-hearted stuff has a problem, but I have a problem with it. Of course, I enjoy a lot of light-hearted stuff. But just if there's a bit of extra deeper or darker depth to it, I tend to be more invested than If it's just that's just me, though.
I mean, it's completely understandable. You're allowed your opinion. Yeah. All opinions are welcome here, unless they're wrong.
But yeah, the point I was getting to by saying that was that a lot of the earlier DVDs and such I got were, of course, social things. I'd watch them like nightly with my parents. So like first time watching stuff like Tomb of the Cybermen or The Time Meddler. Some of the earliest like DVDs I got was just. Or also stuff like films like the Lord of the Rings trilogy and whatnot. Yeah, I'd always watch them with my parents in the evening, just like night after night. And, that's why longer episodes didn't bug me at the time. Was just because, as I said, it would. I'd only watch one at a time anyway, so it wouldn't matter. In fact, it'd be better if it was longer because that'd mean more weeks to watch stuff, more days to watch stuff.
Yeah, for me and my family, it was pretty much, here's the Doctor Who stuff, Nick. They chuck it in a room and close the door on me. My sister was not interested at all. And I like sharing experiences, so I guess like Doctor Who taught me a lot about solitude enjoyment, which is like today, happy birthday by myself in a flat. Woohoo!
Yeah, I always played like on my own, but in terms of watching stuff, I would for a while do that with family. I tried to share Doctor Who others. My younger brother does sit down and watch some of the new episodes, and I did get my sister to watch up to series 3, and then I dumped a load of the old DVDs I didn't need on her as well. But she's too busy watching anime most of the time, so.
Yeah,
to do anything else.
It's a lot to catch
Ocarina
up
of
on.
Time she's doing right now.
Good choice.
Well, she's been playing that for 2 years at this point.
Oh, what? I finished that like in a couple of days, man. Like when I let Zelda, I'm like, I smashed through it. Like,
I know you get through things so quickly. I can't get things through as quickly as you, but it did take me 2 weeks to get through that game, and it's just. I do want that game back eventually.
It's so good. I love Ocarina of Time, but Wind Waker's my ultimate. I just want it on Switch. Make up on Switch, and then
Twilight Princess.
They could never make a game again. If they stopped Zelda games, I'd be happy. As long as I could portably take Wind Waker anywhere. If
I could take Twilight Princess anywhere, I'm happy.
It would be like they just need to do that, don't they? Just Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD. You could even put Ocarina of Time HD and Majora's Mask HD. Like the 3D didn't really change anything. Like the gimmick, it was great. It looked great.
You need to put more work into that, I think, because they look great on the resolution they're at. And I mean, it certainly doesn't look bad. Like because of course people have putting them on emulate and stuff and upping the resolution, and they don't look bad, but you need to like up-res some of the textures.
That wouldn't take long though. Like the main difficult mechanics of the game are done, and the story, it would take probably, I don't know, of months
Yeah.
per game. Couple of months per game, just updating graphics, and because it's like just adding on the codes does the same thing, same rules. That's why they managed to turn around Majora's Mask so quickly. But then they were doing changes for that as well, like fixing mechanics and stuff, which would take time. But if they were literally just copying and pasting, it shouldn't take as long.
Who knows?
They should just do a 4-pack. It would sell. It would sell like hotcakes. Like those 4 games.
Yeah.
It would do very well.
As nice a transition as this would be on to the next topic, there was another couple of things I wanted to say about the presents.
Go for it.
Yeah, well, firstly, like every year they give me like a new annual.
I got an annual for a long time as like a stocking present, and then
I got 2007, 2008, 2009. I missed 2010, but I got
shock.
2011, missed 2012. Then I got 2013, the 50th anniversary annual. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and up to 2020. I'm still getting them. I'm still getting given the annuals. I also have the 1979, 1980 ones, but they were... Well, the 1979 was my dad's childhood one. The 1980 ones I got in the second-hand bookstore, finding it in a currently stocked book. It's like this massive book barn that someone went on holiday. And it was like... I got it for cheap because I found it in a box that they were about to be put out, but it wasn't put out yet. So you were like, yeah, you can just have it cheap. I also got the Silurians as a Target novel there and a couple of other things. So
Nice.
But yeah, I usually I got the annuals, and then occasionally get other books too as well. Actually, as like Christmas gifts. So I got like the anniversary 11 Doctors collection there, and like. Got a few others. Like it's difficult to decipher exactly what books I got when. Other than that, it was just like figures. I don't know if I could pick out exactly which figures I got for Christmas and which ones I bought on my own and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I did certainly get a reasonable amount of Dot 2 figures for Christmas as well. And anything else I can mention? Oh, I got the LCD game! I forgot about the LCD game! That was like, I spent ages on that, but I could never get past like level 3 on that. That's in the attic right now as well. Probably the batteries have like leaked at this point. But
I got one Christmas. I can't remember what else I got with it, but I got the really bad Wii game.
Yeah.
Which I played for one day, and I never touched it again.
Oh, that was Return to Earth, because
Yes,
we're going to go
it's
on
a
to this
two-parter.
topic. I got, because you got Return to Earth, I got Evacuation Earth, and I think this one was for Christmas as well, maybe. Oh, no, this one might be the birthday
I
gift.
got for birthday mine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah, you got
two-part
two
series.
And actually, I got this for Christmas too.
Whoa. I love how you said that like it was like, oh, look at me, I got
Look at this, I
Doctor Who.
got Top Trumps.
Yeah, the game, because I like, why do you want to like just you want a physical copy? Why do you want like like I don't get.
This was released on the Wii and the DS, and my grandparents bought it on the Wii, and so I played it on there first, and I beat that in probably less than an hour. I think it did have. Both of these are multiplayer. I actually think I did play this multiplayer a few times actually as well.
It's like I just don't get it. It's like, why not just play it with real Top Trump cards?
It has a single player mode, so if you're like lonely like I was, sometimes you could just like sit there and play. Yeah, I'm just gonna play.
I
Top
have
Trump.
a friend.
But I actually legitimately did. I was the sad that I played Top Trumps myself, like in physical Top Trumps. I played by myself, and it's just like.
Oh, I think everyone did that at some point. I did that. I did that with. I had a Narnia one, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, when that came out in 2005.
I had like this massive variety. So like, I think originally I had like. It was the Star Wars ones I was originally, because I have this and I have an original trilogy. I had an original trilogy one. I don't know if I still have it, but like it was the Revenge of the Sith ones, which is like. Yeah, and then I got all sorts of others. I got space phenomena. I have football. I have dinosaurs. I have football legends. I have horrible histories. I have the Incredibles, Nick.
Oh, that takes me back. I remember I had a Incredibles sticker album. You know, like where they have like the film and it's like lots of stickers.
Yeah, I had that.
I love that. I was gonna get the Euro sticker album maybe this year. I almost was thinking of getting it because I had quite a few. I got the World Cup 2010, the Africa World Cup, completed it. Because you can get most of them, and then you can order 50 from like I think is it Panini? Is that what they're actually called?
So, yeah.
The sticker people. I think it's Panini. Weirdly, like the baguette thing, but and you can order 50 from them. So I always got it so that I was within, within the thing. And yeah, it was I did the World Cup 2010. I think I did then the Euro 2012, and I completed that one, and I also completed the World Cup 2014, which was awful for us in Brazil. God. But I didn't do... maybe I did even 2016 Euro. No, I don't think I did. But I did...
I don't think I collected... Football stickers I don't think I collected, and because I was more about the cards at the time. I was more about match attacks and such, and I collected those up until...
See, match attacks I was like, cool, but then they would like kind of... There was a game, but... The issue with is they never taught you how to, like, with stickers, you know what to do. You stick them where the number is. And it was fun. I was very analytical with it. So I'd, when I had a lot as well, I would start to put them into, like, 0 to 100. Put a pile there. And then 100 to 200 pile, 200 to 300, 300 to 400. And then I'd put them like into their piles, then I put those into orders, and then I had a cross sheet so I could see if I already had it instead of wasting my time going through it. Or no, then I'd go page by page, be like, okay, I've already got this one, put that there. If I got a new one, I'd cross it off a cross list, so then when I was towards the end I could see exactly the ones I needed. And yeah, it was just really fun. Like, it took up a lot of like kind of long Saturdays when there was no Doctor Who.
Yeah, I do remember the Doctor Who ones in particular, though. Very, very fond nostalgia was trying to collect all of those, and I mean, people going back and forth, and the mystery. Like, I remember. I don't know if you remember the Doctor Who sticker set and the mystery of the like what would happen if you collected the 6 stickers on like the one page and you send it off.
I didn't know that was a thing. No, I never got Doctor Who stickers.
I never got it.
It was Battles in Time was the stuff.
No, like alongside Battles in Time, which of course I collected a lot of too. There was a sticker set for series 1 and 2, like which I collected for a blimmin' age. it was like it's like a big thing, and we like traded stickers and stuff just like we would with cards and whatnot. And there was like a page where they had like 8 like this, like you collect these 8 and you can complete like a whole picture thing. And like basically they had this gift thing where it's like if you do all 8, you can send this off and you can receive like a reward of some description. And there was always like massive speculation about exactly what that would be. And like I had people keep claiming to me, "Oh, it's a life size. It's like this big Emperor Dalek," and "Oh, I've got one." And
classic kid crap.
And then I think people did that because like they had like bootleg ones on eBay, which I think people did like buy. I actually got like a big one now, which is it's
gorgeous, isn't it?
In your face. Now I actually got one. You told me all that time it was fake, and now I have this beautiful thing.
Yeah, you need to put that in a casing. You need to
I do.
protect that.
I think all my they all get so dusty. Like everything on my shelf is just like I do at some point just need to like get more secure, dustless things.
Yeah.
At the moment,
I need to
that's
as well.
Not really a priority. I don't think I have all sorts of other stuff though in terms of Doctor Who. I don't think I have the sticker set down here though. I can have a quick look maybe. I don't know. It's certainly not down here if I do.
Lift your webcam up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, if I do have it, it's certainly not there. But yeah, I mean, collected those a lot. And that was quite a fun thing. So.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But video games, our next topic of.
So yeah, that was a transition we're going to go to because of course Nick mentioned about the bad Wii game, and This was all right, but it's like
That was very much 2D and puzzles, wasn't it? It was a bit Professor
it's a
Layton-y.
Professor Layton game
Yeah.
without being a Professor Layton game. Like I never finished it. I don't know where I got up to, but it's like it wasn't that interesting. I think the closest they've ever come in terms of making like a true like compelling Doctor Who game was actually their free adventure games that they did. I only played the first one, and I didn't even think I finished that because I had like issues with it running it on my old computer.
Yeah.
It was kind of a buggy game as well, but it's like there was potential in that, and I don't know if the other episodes they released of that did any better with it, but like it comes so close, like in terms of like it should be kind of like an explorative kind of 3D game where you like complete puzzles and do all this stuff rather than like, I was thinking, just in terms of like what they could do to transition it. I was thinking maybe looking at like the Batman Arkham games like an inspiration. Not in terms of like the combat heavy side of it, but in terms of like you're going around the world, you're exploring, you're finding like clues to solve a mystery and whatnot. Like I think would be kind of a perfect kind of structure to making like a Doctor Who game. Like actually a good one.
Yeah. I don't think Doctor Who should be video games, in my opinion. I've never really, I don't know, to me, like, I'm quite weird, I'm quite separate with, like, my worlds, and, like, Doctor Who is a TV show, or maybe a film, if, like, the 50th anniversary, I count as a film. It's a film, it's not an episode. It fits within the series.
The Peter Cushing movies.
Yeah. But, I'm very kind of separate, and I've never, even as a kid, I never had the want or the appeal to want to play the Doctor in a video game. I was like, if I want to play a Doctor, like, I want to be the Doctor. I don't want to be controlling another incarnation of the Doctor, because that's something I don't have control of when I watch the TV show, I guess. I never really, I don't know, and like the graphics were never great because it was like BBC games, so it was always blocky. So it was like me trying to compare like great stories like Ocarina of Time to then this kind of.
I mean, there are better examples than the Wii game because the Wii game looked terrible.
No, but I've played the Wii game, and I played the very first adventure game. Okay. I played the Dalek one, and that one, yes, definitely was the best when it came to it. But it was I don't know. I remember it being a bit confusing, like with what you could collect and when you could collect it. Were all these items in the level? It was like jelly babies or something. Which I was like, why are we collecting jelly babies? Like that's the fourth Doctor.
Nostalgia.
I don't know, but I enjoyed it quite a lot. But I finished it very quickly. I finished it in the morning, which was kind of disappointing. I guess the level. And then they released like kind of other segments later. I think they did the Blood of a Cyberman was one.
There was Cyberman. There was Vastarada, and there was
the Guy Fawkes
Rutons
one.
and the Silurians and the Sontarans.
Yeah, the Guy Fawkes one.
Yeah, which is cool. They actually did do a thing with the Silurians and the Rutons, like together actually.
Sontarans and Rutons.
So rarely.
Sontarans. You said Silurians again.
Yeah.
They're very different species.
They are very different.
But they both have a third eye, though. No. But yeah, I had issues downloading the second one. I remember there was some issue. I couldn't download it. No matter what happened, I couldn't get it to connect to my first one, and I was just like, this is too much effort for a video game. Like, just put it on a Wii. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm very much not a PC gamer anyway. To me, I'm very much personally. I completely understand people who do, but I'm like, kind of my computer's like internet and work and YouTube and watching stuff. Like that's what I kind of see a computer as. I'm like, a keyboard isn't built for video games. Like, is not a good controller. Like I get.
Well, it depends on the type of video games you're looking at. So like there are for like precision in first-person shooters, it's like. Probably about as good as you can get, just in terms of that.
I guess
third person like platforming games and whatnot. I mean, I bought one of these to play games on that. So there are certain types of games that of course don't work with a mouse and keyboard, but some games that very much do.
They work in the mechanics that they've prepared for it though. Like I get it, but I know it's like people do first-person shooters on games consoles, and yes, I guess the mouse is a you can make it your perfect sensitivity for your movement.
Yeah.
And I've played I think it was Counter-Strike. I played for a while, and it was fine. But I know I didn't enjoy sitting in front of a computer playing a video game. I like kind of being laid back and relaxing, not kind of hunched over my computer personally. So I just remember feeling very uncomfortable trying to play Doctor Who. I kind of was sat in this sofa, this laptop, and it wasn't like a comfortable experience for me, I guess. Like, I just physically didn't feel like comfortable.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, wasn't on a nice big screen. It was kind of on a small laptop screen. And
I guess I'm just more used to playing a lot of PC games because I have played a lot of PC games over the years. Although I do kind of like playing on console too, just because, again, most of the stuff I play now ends up being on my laptop. And my laptop's quite powerful, but yeah, I'm always like, I think there are certain limitations to it, just in terms of it being a laptop. It can't run everything that I'd want it to, so I still play quite a lot on my PS4 and whatnot. But again, Doctor Who's success rate on consoles hasn't been great, as far as I can. As you say, of course, there's Return to Earth. There's also the Eternity Clock, which came out on
that one,
which everybody hated.
Really, everyone hated that.
Yeah, people hated it. It looks visually quite nice, but people really didn't take to that as well. The only really, I guess, good, although it's not even really a Doctor Who game, the probably the best Doctor Who video game thing has been their inclusion in LEGO Dimensions.
Yeah, that was a kind of surprise.
Well, they did all sorts of things in that.
I'm just very annoyed that they didn't make more LEGO sets. I've got the TARDIS set. I actually have. Oh, wait. I'm finally getting something.
Oh!
So I don't have the full set with me, but I do have this because my mate got it for me for my birthday. Actually, that was enough a gift. He got me this like years later, so he actually managed to get it way after it was discontinued. But he got me an unopened version, so it was quite cool. But yeah, it's a really lovely make. It is really, really nice, and you can kind of. Well, I did have it on my desk because I kind of moved. It is, yeah, really nice. So what annoys me though is they put Peter Capaldi in the 11th Doctor costume.
Yeah, Coach Generation. But that was because they had the Matt Smith on their head too, didn't they?
No, he literally has his whole other costume. He has the other tweed, other tweed jacket. Yeah. Like he has his own figure. So I was like, well, if you're going to do that, just give the 12th Doctor. It's so you probably bought the Dimensions set to get.
Maybe so you could get his.
But I was gutted that they never did. So character building, they did. They did that. All the Doctors. 1 to 11 at that point as the character building figures, and I really, and then they did the 5-inch figures of that, which I kind of wish I got at some point. But the issue is things like that I'm always reluctant to get because I'm like, well, it's going to become old and obsolete when the next Doctor comes along. It will be an incomplete set. It's just my thinking. It's just the way I kind of think about stuff.
I'm quite happy with just having a few now. I used to collect it quite heavily.
But yeah, I kind of really wanted Lego to do the first, all the classic Doctors. And
yeah, because they had their designs in the LEGO Dimensions.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've seen a lot about that.
Oh no, I watched a lot of the stuff.
But, they all had unique TARDISes, and they could regenerate.
Yeah, instead of falling to pieces, they regenerated, which was cool. And then whenever you went in the TARDIS, it would change depending on the Doctor, which was so cool. Yeah, that is the best it's ever. I annoyingly never played it. It was just too expensive to buy the Dimensions set. I
think my siblings have LEGO Dimensions on the Wii U, which of course means that it doesn't run very well. But I never played it myself, to be honest. I never really was like, I'm gonna play LEGO Dimensions today, even though there was a couple of things I was interested. So I was interested in that and the Sonic levels that they added to that. I was kind of because that was a whole campaign of which it was interesting, but I haven't played a Lego game literally since my only Lego game, which is Lego Star Wars Complete Saga on the DS.
I never got the DS one. I got Lego Star Wars 2 on the GameCube. One of my favorite games of all time. Just the nostalgia, me and my sister, really funny. really fun. Just a really solid game. That was probably the best. They peaked there. Then the first Indiana Jones was good, but then they made like a second one like 2 years later with like Crystal Skull included, and I was like, that really put me off. I was like, well, it's just like, why don't you just wait for that instead of, I don't know, it kind of pissed me off that they just did the same game again, I guess. Yeah, it put me off.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, that's not really, exactly the types of games that I really, really go for, because of course they skew quite young, as to be expected.
Yeah.
So there isn't a lot of depth to them. It's like, now that I played that one, well, once I played that one, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna play other stuff.
It was like I got Lego Marvel Superheroes on the Wii U, and the world was so big, it was like ridiculous. I was like, I don't even know where to bloody begin. Like it was really cool, but I wasn't super interested in playing it, I guess. So I just never got around to it.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to like a full Dot 2 Lego video game. Like I was always thinking that, because like, of course there'd be a lot of content to do. Of course, and I certainly don't think they'd like try to cram it in all at the same time. I think they probably perhaps handle it like Star Wars, the way you'd have like
episodes, yeah.
The new Doctors, and then maybe like an old Doctors like game or whatever.
Yeah, that's how I'd prefer it to be, more like levels. Like that's what I always liked about Lego. So when they changed it to these expansive worlds, I was like, I'm not really a fan.
I think it's fine if it's designed well enough. I mean, I remember people really liked Lego City Undercover, I think it was, and people really liked that, and they tried to make it they transitioned that over to like the main Lego stuff. I didn't hear much about Lego games, so I don't know how well designed they are. Open worlds are good, but open worlds need to be designed well,
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I guess going back to Dot 2 and video games, I guess.
There's the VR.
I thought about a couple of things in terms of like how they could do it. I mean, I get what you kind of mean, but I think there's so many series that has transitioned well over the video games, and I don't really see why Dot 2 necessarily should be left out of that. And of course, there are various ways you could handle it.
I'd like to play the VR game. I'd like to play the VR game before I kind of made any final judgment, because it looks, I mean, it's a lot of just kind of grabbing and running down this hall.
It's an experience more than it is really a video game, to be honest, as far as I can see. Although,
I'd like to try it.
I'd like to try it too. I would, although that would involve getting like a VR set, which of course aren't cheap. Although I contemplated getting like a PSVR or something, but maybe it's not worth it right now, considering how close the PS5 is, and they'll probably make another one. So
yeah, that's true.
But no, I'd always thought, like, if you don't want to do like a full on like an action adventure game, like I know Telltale crashed and burned spectacularly, but you could do Dot 2 in that kind of style if you wanted it like to be a more story focused, like point and click events kind of thing. Don't know if you're familiar with those.
Yeah,
kind of like The Walking Dead and such. The game.
Yeah, no, there's just no part of me that wants a Doctor Who game. Like, even if they made an amazing looking game, I wouldn't be super excited in getting it, because it's just something I prefer to. I like to watch Doctor Who. I like to get lost in that world. There's just other worlds I want to visit. Like when I'm in video games, I want to be in distant kingdoms, I guess. Like Legends of Zelda. I just want to be like fighting bad guys, not pointing a sonic screwdriver at stuff. And that's the thing.
There's more you could do with that, though. That's always my thing. Is that I mean, Doctor Who, I've always said, is a show with like unlimited potential as a show, but I think it's set up to where you can go anywhere, travel through time and space, be anywhere. Like, it does set itself up quite nicely to a video game, because you could do pretty much anything with it. Those creative constraints you get with like other shows in the genre which they've tried to make as video games and to varying success levels, you don't get that with Doctor Who. The setup and what you do in the world could be anything. Your only restrictions is the characters you include, but beyond that, what you do in the game, how you make that, could be anything.
I get that, but my issue is like, one, it's like you'd have to make it, I guess, you could play as any of the Doctors.
Not necessarily. I mean, you could just focus on the current Doctor, and I think that'd be fine.
But then it becomes, I don't know. Then it's like, well, there's other iterations I'd prefer to play as. Like, imagine a game where you could play it as any of the Doctors and they react differently in situations. That would be more interesting to me. Like,
it'd be quite difficult, but yeah.
I mean, you just same kind of thing. You just change it up, I guess.
It depends on how narrative they're going with it, because if they're focusing on their story, then it'd be a bit weird.
The other issue is they always have to either be Daleks or Cybermen in the video games, because they have to go with the popular villains. And that's the other thing is like you have to look at the audience of gamers, and then how that crosses over with audience like watchers of Doctor Who as well, because only really people who watch Doctor Who are going to be playing the video games.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. If a game's good, and like there have been other. So like I think it was Jedi Fallen Order recently for Star Wars. That was a massive success, and I mean, obviously, probably the majority of the fan base of people who already cared about Star Wars, but it got a good reputation as a strong single-player game in its own right. So people would be interested to play that regardless.
But everyone wants to play with lightsabers and fight and shoot guns. The issue is the Doctor doesn't do any of that.
No, I mean, if you really needed combat, you could throw in some Venusian karate in there, but
I guess, but it just becomes Batman Arkham Asylum.
I think you would take what makes Doctor Who interesting in terms of the TV series, which is, exploring worlds and solving puzzles and kind of solving mysteries or finding solutions to problems, and you could incorporate that into an interesting video game which doesn't focus on its combat but focuses on the exploration of the worlds you're in, and maybe dialogue and talking to very alien life forms.
So Animal Crossing.
No,
it's kind of that though, because like if you remove the combat, then it's just a lesser version of Zelda.
You're not just on one world. What you do is you find a way to progress. So like, what's a good example? I don't know quite how to. You don't play quite as much, but it's like you explore. Your focus is on exploring and puzzle solving. It's not so much on defeating enemies.
So it's like just taking out a big chunk of Zelda and being like, but with multiple worlds.
Yeah, but if you expand and do those points intricately enough, I think it could be compelling enough for a video game, right? Yeah. If you want to take Zelda as an example, think of it like as the puzzle-solving dungeons and an open world.
If there was the dungeon-solving kind of thing, but you'd have to be really compelling. Like the way that you defeat enemies would have to be. You'd have to have some sort of combat. Like there'd have to be something.
Yeah, sure. But like, I think it'd be more like traps and finding creative solutions in order to trick enemies into doing certain things, and just other ways of doing the combat.
I guess a good version is like I did play a game which was good, which was Scooby-Doo Mystery Mayhem. That was incredibly good on the GameCube, and that they didn't really combat, but they used a book, which once you open the book, it would suck the kind of the real ghosts and the real poltergeists and tornado creatures into the book. That's kind of like a passive way of battling. So if I had something like that, because that was very fun, but like your magic meter of a book could run down, so you had to make sure that you caught stuff. Otherwise, like ghosts would scare you. And you spent a lot of time like creeping, and that was a lot kind of in the adventure game as well. But I think it'd have to be something along those lines.
Something a bit more like that. I'd also like, as I said, a bit of Batman Arkham in there, like just in terms of like, because in that game you do a lot more of the kind of mystery solving kind of crimes and such. So like you scan like certain bits of the environment and follow like people's scents and such, and you use your various gadgets to access new areas and such. And you get more as the game goes along, so you can access more areas in the world and such. And I'd also like, as I said, a bit of more dialogue interaction. So like, think maybe Mass Effect or something. Not to the deep extent Mass Effect has it, but like to where you would be able to have different dialogue options for the enemies and not enemies necessarily, but the different alien species and people you meet along your adventure. You'd have like multiple like dialogue options which could change certain aspects in the game world and like the way that people interact with you. And then you could just have like some sort of impact long term on like the way the world. I mean, there's so many interesting stuff you could do with it. I think
there's a lot of
'Cause, as I
interesting
said,
you could do. It's just whether anyone would want to kind of touch it with a stick, kind of thing. Like who would?
Yeah, because there
I
has
think
been
it
a
would.
lot of like failed attempts. Because as I said, I think they're going all the wrong way. Like Eternity Clock was a 2D platformer, I think,
Yeah.
and then Evacuation Earth's a bit closer to what I imagined, just in terms of you're going around the world and you're solving puzzles and such, as opposed to like deep combat stuff. But as I said, it wasn't that compelling a story, and the world was a bit cumbersome to navigate. But if you actually had like the ability to explore with this kind of structure, I guess I think that could be compelling. I think
I just think
you
it's
can
the
have a
amount of
winner.
money it would take to develop a game like that, and it's like, and you're putting a lot then on Doctor Who, which just isn't like as big a thing. I think like Star Wars fans are just a bit.
Well, yeah, it doesn't need to be AAA quality. Like, I'm not expecting a Fallen Order for Doctor Who, but I think you could make it a kind of AA kind of standards, I guess.
I think you could, but it's who would. I think that's the whole thing.
Again, people have tried, they just haven't put very much money into it. Like, the BBC tried with that one attempt, like with the adventure games, but there wasn't a whole lot of money. I think they had the right idea, but it didn't have very much budget behind it. And then, of course, the Wii game was very, very cheaply thrown together, as it was kind of obvious from looking at that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think it could be a success. I really do think it could be a success, because like various other franchises, like, of course, licensed games don't always have the best reputation, but I think there's certainly like good examples of it and good.
To me, it's just very much like movies, kind of back in like 2008, where like kind of movies would have video games made of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like they did like
Well, a lot of
Iron
those were very
Man, and
cheap.
I never appealed to me. Like I never cared to play a movie as a video game. I never wanted that. It's never been
There's
anything.
good examples of them, like Spider-Man 2, I think in particular is one that people really, really get behind.
But is that because it's the anomaly, like all the crap, and then there's like this anomaly?
There's some other good ones.
It probably is a good
Chronicles
game.
of Riddick. Yeah, I could bring up a list, but it's like it's difficult because a lot of them aren't right. A lot of them aren't. There was a lot of trash released in the actually throughout the 2000s in terms of like poor license games and whatnot. But that isn't quite as common anymore. Like there isn't as many licensed games, period. But the ones that do come out tend to be of higher quality. So of course, yeah, as I said, mentioned the Star Wars example, but also a lot of people liked Terminator Resistance came out recently. Which was, of course, supposed to be a tie to Dark Fate, but actually people really quite liked that one. It apparently was quite a solid first-person shooter, like kind of an underrated kind of AA video game experience. So, and yeah, I think there have been a few more of those like that, and even some of the older licensed games are getting appreciation. Like I think SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom's getting a remake, and it's like that was like a mid-2000s GameCube game.
Was that the movie one?
No.
No,
It was. I
different
think it was by the same developers, but it was one released before that.
Because I enjoyed the movie game when I played it around my mates.
Yeah,
That was fun.
like it's the same developer and same. I think some of the same gameplay mechanics, but I think a lot more people have appreciation for Battle for Bikini Bottom. But yeah, I mean, I think certainly nowadays, since there was like a massive crash on them, like video game license games, and I think the ones that come out now generally are of higher quality than the ones you got before. And then there are like unrelated stuff. Actually, I think another good example would be the Shadow of Mordor, the Middle Earth games, the Lord of the Rings tie-ins to the movies, and they were like people really, really like those.
I think the thing is, it's just bigger fan bases, like worldwide more, and that's the issue. Doctor Who is big here in the States, and it's kind of it has its communities around the world, but it's not as big as Star Wars. Or
yeah, it doesn't need that kind of budget to it though. It doesn't. I don't think it should be a low budget affair, but it doesn't need the budget that they put into or the visual fidelity that they put into Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. It can be lower than that, as I said, like kind of a AA experience, not like AAA like high budget affair, just kind of like like a middling budget game, I guess. Just kind of a
make those middling budget games now. That's all we want.
I think you could do well with it. I think you could. There is an awful lot of potential in Doctor 2 as a video game, which I just don't think anybody's ever bothered to try to its fullest extent. Like I said, the adventure games are on the right track.
I think they should do Lego Doctor Who. Like I don't know. I think they'll make more money out of that than actual sets. But like better than the TARDIS that they did. Like it wasn't a great design, but if they did like some sets, a bit like character building did, I don't know. I believe they can make quite a lot. I mean, they're doing. Have you seen the Mario?
Yeah, I mean that's very, very elaborate. That one.
I'm hoping for some Zelda sets. I'm hoping for some normal Mario figures, like actual, like, you know, just normal Lego-sized figures.
I don't think that's the direction they're going with.
Well, they could do some poly bags, like just some, you know, like how they do like the minifigures, just a minifigure series of just Mario ones. They would do ridiculously well.
I think they would, yeah.
They really would. People have wanted Nintendo Lego for years.
Yeah, and apparently it's been in development for years, as you can see by how elaborate it is.
It's so crazy. So you have to get the beginning set, which is like, I think 40 quid or something, and that's the only one which actually comes with Mario.
Yeah.
And then you can get the other ones. Tempted, maybe? Partly, just to see what it's like.
Goodness. Well, I mean, I can't blame you for that, because I keep buying models and figures and such that are way too expensive. So.
I mean, I really hope they do something Zelda, just like a Zelda set. Like, there's a really nice fan-made one of like the stable from Breath of the Wild. I'd love a King of Red Lions.
Like, I don't know what it was. The Lego Ideas. Thing.
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
Several Zelda ones kind of put forward over the years, none of which I don't think ever reached that limit and that
I think it did. It just I guess they weren't.
Do it.
Yeah, but maybe now. I mean, like if they even just did like not just a Mario figure collection, if they just did a Nintendo one with like Metroid, Pikmin.
Oh, that'd be nice. But I think right now they're really, really focusing on Mario because of course it's the 30th anniversary.
They're doing some remakes, aren't they?
That's the room. The rumor currently is that they might be doing what's essentially like a second All-Star pack. So like
Mario
remasters
Sunshine.
of Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, and then like separately a Mario 3D World Deluxe. Is what currently they're saying might happen, but we will see.
I want Mario Kart 9.
That's currently still a rumor. But you know, they got the Lego, they've got a Mario movie, of course, happening.
I want the Mario Kart 9. I've been waiting for it for too long.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. They only do it once per generation. They gave us Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
But Deluxe was everything which was on the Wii U.
Now they're focusing on Mario Kart Tour.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I hope they just drop it and they're like, "Hey, Mario Kart 9 is coming."
It's making them money, so they're not gonna drop it.
Oh God. If you're playing it, stop. Please.
It's not going to happen that easily, unfortunately. Still not doing even close to as well as Fire Emblem's doing, which is a weird statement to say. Fire Emblem Heroes is like blimmin' making millions like monthly. It's like, this is insane.
The video game market is a big one. They make so much. I think they make more than the movie industry.
It's just weird. Like Nintendo released like Mario games and Mario Kart and Animal Crossing, and the one that does the best is Fire Emblem. It's just like a decade ago, who would have seen that coming?
Yeah, though, like Switches have been selling out everywhere, which is crazy.
Well, of course, because everybody's just desperately trying to have entertainment at home.
Well,
right
Animal
now.
Crossing was a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Like, it was on social media like crazy.
Massive,
like,
yeah.
It was like mainstream media, and I was like,
Oh, of course, yeah.
I wasn't really expecting like.
Stephen
as big
Fry
as
was
that.
commenting about it and saying about like.
It's crazy, isn't it? It was. I don't think it would be that big, like as a thing. I thought it would, be big in the like kind of Animal Crossing community and maybe a bit, but it was really in mainstream media. Like there was a lot of memes using it. And I was like, wow, that's crazy.
I mean, that's been building for ages. New Leaf did ridiculously well.
Yeah,
so
it did.
That had been building for a while.
Yeah, I guess just not in like the mainstream. I hadn't seen like the build up excitement in mainstream media. Like it kind of just it dropped and then suddenly everyone was playing it. I was like, oh, okay. It took me back to Wild World when it came out on the DS. Like that was massive.
Again, I think any main video game that comes out right now is going to pick up a lot of attention because everybody's home to play it. So it was Doom Eternal, and it's
Doctor Who Top Drops,
which I've been enjoying.
Yeah, but yeah, There we go. I think it's about who would pick up Doctor Who really for a video game.
Again, it doesn't need high budgets. It just needs like a
some
solid
love and attention,
middle budget video game. I
just
think.
with a good story.
Oh, I can make a Doctor Who RPG, Nick.
I think if I'd
Actually, that wouldn't even work that badly. To be fair, actually,
it would work probably better than
like a. Actually, if they wanted to go a low-budget affair, like a kind of a 16-bit Doctor Who RPG, I don't think would be a bad call.
that would probably be the best way to go with it, in my opinion.
I mean, they certainly in the mobile market, they've done a lot with these like smaller projects. Actually, I did put a lot of time to Legacy, Doctor Who Legacy. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that was the mobile puzzle block. I mean, it's a very generic.
It was like Candy Crush, but Doctor Who kind of thing.
Yeah, but it actually, you could play like you had like kind of new stories and like bits of like old episodes and such, and you could like get multiple Doctors, or they were just JPEGs. It was a thing, and I put quite a bit of time into it before they shut it down.
Yeah, that doesn't help when people shut stuff down, but hey ho.
Yeah.
But wow. Don't really have much else to say. Nothing really happened this week. Oh, Moffat released a short story, didn't he?
I haven't read it.
I haven't read it either. It didn't really interest me, I guess. I was very busy. I was busy doing other stuff, so I might read it. I might give it a read. I was going to watch The Beast Below yesterday, almost, because that was 10 years yesterday, on the 10th. I'm going to try and watch maybe one episode of Series 5 a week to celebrate 10 years. So maybe I'll watch it today on my birthday.
And meanwhile, I'm currently working through all the episodes which I haven't got around to watching yet, because I own every classic story, but I haven't watched them all yet, and I'm slowly working my way through that. Although I have, since the lockdowns happened, I haven't actually sat down and watched one.
The perfect time to.
We because we got Netflix and such, and
yeah, Disney Plus.
Stuff from there, Disney Plus.
I need to watch the new Mandalorian actually.
I need to watch the latest episode. I watched the episode before that, but I haven't watched the latest.
I think it's episode 5 now.
And I've been watching stuff like Ash vs Evil Dead on Netflix and a few other stuff. But last episode I watched was State of Decay, which is okay. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
Is okay.
It is. That's alright. Actually, I don't hate it. It's not exactly one which I'm like, oh my goodness, this is great. But it was alright.
I think that's pretty much how I feel for most of that series.
I'm rather fond of Megaloth, actually, and of course the local boys and Keeper Traken are good.
Decent.
Yeah. I need to watch Warriors Gate next. Actually, is the next one. Then I've watched every Tom Baker story.
Do you rewatch them ones that you? So will you rewatch Keeper Traken and Logogoplois, or do you skip to the next one you haven't watched?
I'm at the minute I'm just focusing on watching them all, and then I think after I've sort of watched through every single story at least once, I'm gonna go back to the start and just watch my way through them just in order.
Nice, that's fair. I remember actually one Christmas I got, it was Series 5 had aired, so it would have been 10 years ago, so it would have been 2010 Christmas. I got Series 1 to 4 like box set, and I hadn't seen like Series 1 since 2005, so it was like 5 years later getting to watch all the like Rose, Unquiet Dead, End of the World all over again. I was like, I was very happy that Christmas watching that, and I got the specials as well. So I had like the whole of Russell T Davies era, which I think I managed to watch all of before Matt Smith's. Because as I was saying like last week, like, I latched on very much to Doctor Who kind of during that period. So yeah, I watched hours and hours worth of it. But yeah, I think that wraps it up pretty much this week. Not much else to talk about. Nothing new happening. So yeah. What do you guys think if you've managed to get to this point? Comment below if you think Doctor Who should be a Lego game, a video game. Do you think it should be Lego? I think
it has been a video game, but I mean,
yeah, I think. Like, well, do you think that? Yeah.
Just as a brief aside, I don't know if you've seen like the Destiny Doctors cutscenes with Anthony Ainsley, but they're hilarious.
Oh yeah, I have. They're fantastic, aren't they?
They're the best.
I think they'd been more successful going this route, making Doctor Who Lego. Like, I think it would just better sets, like just something like one with like, kind of the modern Doctors, that would sell definitely better. And then a set where you can get all the Doctors, 1 to 13, including the War Doctor. Maybe even the Roof Doctor now, whatever. That would be nice if you could get that little
they
set.
did have a character build, and they had like the 5-inch figures, like in the whole TARDIS.
Yeah,
box.
and then
That was
they
the
did
coolest thing, and I always wanted that. And then they had like a character building version of that exact same set. But it's like I'm so upset that I never got that blimmin' like 11 Doctors.
They had it
TARDIS.
at Bedford, didn't they, one year? I wonder if I have it again.
It's like, darn it! Like because that was I mean, it was at WH Smith for ages, and I was just looking at it every time I went in there. I was just like, I want to get this. I really want to get this, but I just never did.
Rip. Yeah. So, there we go. Happy birthday, me. I'm off to start drinking. It's midday now, so I'm allowed to. Isolation, baby. Right. Catch you guys later. Bye.